Hey everyone, welcome back to Dink and Dissect. On this channel, we focus on court positioning, shot selection, and the decisions that actually win or lose pickleball games. So first I want to say big shout out to Adrian Pickleball for letting us use this match. You can go ahead and follow him. His channel will be linked down below along with the original match footage. So today we are reviewing a 4.5 medal match and we are reviewing the first game. I want you to really pay attention to Adrian and his partner's drops because you will see how you can create offense with drops. A lot of times people think you have to hit it as hard as you can all the time, which is what the other team does most of the game. But you can really see, again, how you can advance your team by using strategic drops, and if you place them well, how they can be more offensive than drives. So let's go ahead and jump right into the game. That's a good shot, making him reach out wide and then going ahead and cleaning that up. So at a 4.5 level, you see the first guy is going to go ahead and start driving. I wonder if they're going to continue doing that for most of the game. Maybe not. This guy goes ahead and drops it. Very good shot right here. I just want to point something out. A lot of the times he does contact this below the level of the net. Maybe a little bit higher, but he is doing a good job of putting a lot of pressure on his opponents by continuing to be aggressive, keeping them deep for as long as possible. That one he does contact below the level of the net, but he does a good job of rolling it, again, to stay aggressive and keep his opponents back for as long as possible. That's a good deep return. That's a good shot. Look at where he made his opponent contact that ball. That ball was contacted down here about the middle of the net. That is a great drop. Just a dink that was trying to be very aggressive. It just didn't work out that way. But when you are able to get behind the ball like that, you need to stay aggressive with your dinks. So good shot selection. The execution just wasn't there. Way to drop that. That was a very deep return. He was still able to drop it. One thing I'm noticing from Adrian right here is that his paddle position is very low. So if I am the opposing team, the team on the near court, I am trying to dink as much as possible and speed up at him and just see what happens. He could also be baiting you with his paddle position right there. He could just really trust his hands and be able to read the play very well. So we'll see how the team in the near court takes that into account. Good shot right there. Put it at a very sharp angle. When you're flicking like that, very rarely do you want to put it down in the middle of the court because those come back a lot. If you can make your opponent hit a ball outstretched, those are much more likely to have an error be caused by it. It's you forcing an error on your opponent when you can get it to the side of them. Good shot. He's able to make it bounce and get into the kitchen. So again, just keep an eye back here. I am noticing that both of their paddles are pretty low. So again, I am continuing to try and stay in those dink rallies and speed up as much as possible and just see what happens. He does have quick hands there. Maybe that ball is out of bounds because of his paddle position. He is just a tad bit late on it. He isn't able to meet it where he wants to, and it goes out of bounds. But we'll see how this continues. Good job speeding up there by the team in the near court. Good drive. Keeps it nice and low. Oh, I would have sped that up. I guess you don't need to speed it up when you put it in a weird spot for your team or for the opposing player. He did try to slide a little bit and hit that with the forehand. Just a little late on that. Jammed him up. These are great drops. Look at where he's making his opponent contact this ball. Look at the contact point of this ball. Good job by this player right here going ahead and short hopping it. But at this point, you just have to concede the kitchen. There's nothing else you can do here. That is the right shot choice. A lot of times I see players try to be a little bit aggressive when they should not be. At this point, your opponent hit a great drop. Go ahead and concede the kitchen and play this point out. Good job stretching this team out. If he can get the ball here, there is an opening right here. He does a good job of attacking that and cleaning it up. At this point, the team in the near court or the far court should win this. If the team in the far court could have won that, that would have been very demoralizing for Adrian and his partner. What I'm liking so far about this is that all the returns are pretty deep. You don't see any short, which again, not a big difference, but you're making your opponent have to hit from deep in the court, which can cause more errors. Again, this is 4.5 pickleball, so they're probably not going to happen, those small unforced errors, but make it a little bit harder on your opponent when you can. So let's watch that point again and see what happens. A good deep return, a great drop. Look at these drops and where they're being made contact at. He has to let that thing bounce a little bit, and he hits it up on the rise. He's just trying to concede the kitchen over there, but that's the power of great drops, is that they can cause errors like that. Good job. That was a deep drop, too. I think he was behind the baseline when he hit that. A high drop. Hey, that was a weird angle. It looked like he was almost scorpioning it, but he hit a good angle, and there was no chance of a paddle touching that. I like that. Doesn't matter how it looks as long as you get the point. Again, so he drives here, and he drives not to win the point. He does do a lot of body rotation, but he drives not to win the point. Look at the ball that comes back in the mid-court, nice and soft. He's able to get behind it and just drop it in. So this has to bounce, and they are almost fully established at the kitchen. Okay, so if I am the team in the far court, I am going ahead and getting in cross-court battles if I need to, because there have been a couple errors there with dinking. They try to drop it, just didn't work out for them. So if I am the team in the near court, I am continuing to drive when I can. That seems to have been working out for them a lot more than trying to drop. Driving and then getting that fifth shot drop. Yeah, the player in the near court says it. Unlucky. Those happen. Can't do much about it. At least he's put his hand up to apologize. Even though I don't think anyone is ever really sorry. Drives it into the net. Quick side out. I think he mentioned that he should have dropped that. I don't know. I mean, it was a very drivable ball. I'm okay with driving that. Good angle. Way to get back up there. And look at when they hustle. Okay, I just want to stop this. I know this is a good point, but I want to stop this to show you the footwork and the awareness that these players have. So right here, this is a high ball. You can see their body language is backing up a little bit. He is able to slam that down, and then look at this. As it's coming over the net, they recognize that this ball is probably going to bounce, and they are able to move forward before the ball has actually bounced. So that is them creating pressure with their awareness and their positioning. Now that he is contacting it, let's see how they react. So as he contacts it, they split step, and they both split step. Look at that. That's great pickleball. This one goes a little bit too high. We're almost able to get it back over there, but that was good footwork and good awareness by the team in the near court, even though it didn't work out for them there. Good job by the players in the far court going ahead and continuing to put pressure there. Yeah, so again, we see that the driving has continued to work for them. Let's look at this paddle position real quick. So maybe this is why it went into the net. Look at the paddle position. It's well below the level of the net. And so even though he's driving from back here, yes, he may be a tad bit late compared to if his paddle was a little bit higher. Again, if they're a little bit late on the drive, I would, again, focus on getting up to the kitchen and then speeding up, especially to that forehand because that paddle is low. But again, like I said, this could be just the players. Look at this. Great shot. This could be just the players trying to bait you into speeding up. Maybe they might really trust their counters. Okay, so way to get in there, stretching them out. There is an opening in the middle as of right now. He does a good job taking that out of the air. Again, this paddle is going to be taken, or this ball is going to be taken out of the air. And look at where his paddle's at. It looks like this player back here has his paddle up, but Adrian has his paddle still low. And at this point, he's guessing. He guesses that it's going to go down the line, maybe because he's got all this opening. It's a good guess, honestly. But the player decides to go in the middle, and all he can do is just catch it and look at it. I do like the guess, though. He scooted towards the middle, left that open, so you're kind of trying to force your opponent's hand there to attack the open spot. I do that quite a bit as well. Yeah, I am continuing to drive if I can. That seems to be working a lot more for you to get into the kitchen. Speaking as a team in the near court. Great drops. Again, he has to back up and take that at a very awkward angle. These shots right here, this advantage is being caused by that very first shot. This is just the sequences after. So great shot from Adrian going ahead with that drop, getting them to hit it at a very awkward angle, and then just never relenting on the point after that. Good drops. Again, this player could do a better job of moving his feet. This player could do a better job of opening up, maybe stepping a little bit over, and not getting caught in a weird spot like that. He is standing straight up, so maybe bending his legs would help a lot. He had the right idea, though. It looked like he was kind of trying to speed that up at an off pace because, again, Adrian has that paddle very low. I'm surprised we haven't seen more traditional speed ups yet. There we go. That's good movement right there. And was able to get fully behind the ball. That's a good speedable ball. Again, let's look at that paddle position if the body's not in the way. But this ball is the one that's being sped up. It looks now just from this arm angle that his arm is up. Yeah, he looked like he was anticipating that. It's very unique paddle positioning right there. Again, I try to get in the habit of having my paddle up all the time. But hey, if it works for you and you've gotten to this level doing it, why change it? Great drops. Look at what comes here. Look at what comes because of this drop. This ball is popped up. This player could be very aggressive right now coming in. It looks like he is trying to still be aggressive, but I would like to see two hands on that and crushing that ball above the level of the net. He does speed it up, works out anyway. Man, this is nice to watch. And tell me, do your drops look like this at the 4.5 level, or are you consistently just driving all the time? You can create a lot of unforced errors with drops. I thought we were going to see an extended dinking rally for a second. Great job. The first thing I want to point out right here is the speed up from below the level of the net. This is great control with your paddle. So this is something that you need as a left side player if you want to continue moving up, is if you're able to catch this ball, look at where he contacts it. Just below the level of the net, he's twisting his arm, or he's pronating his arm right now, putting a lot of topspin on that ball, so he is able to speed up. Great job catching it out of the air. He is trying to hit that chicken wing. The player does a good job countering, which you would expect at the 4.5 level. Adrian knows that. Look at him taking up all this space. He knows that if that ball comes back, it's probably coming back towards his forehand. Good job by him engaging in the firefight. Adrian was fully in control of that firefight, and these players were left reacting. Again, that first speed up, it wasn't full pace because it was a little bit below the level of the net. At that point, you have to go for location, which he did masterfully in that sequence. I think Adrian might be the best player on the court right now, so it makes sense that he is playing on the left side. Yeah, I figured that they were going to do double drive. Good job. So he did drive 2 times in a row on the third and fifth ball, and then he reset the seventh. If you get a ball that you feel like you can drive and it's working for you, I don't mind driving the fifth ball. You know, drive drop is a combo, but a lot of times if you can take your opponent by surprise with that extra drive, go for it. Again, they won that point right here with power. So I would continue using a lot of power towards this player right here. Just continue to expose that if you can, which they do right there, and that pops up. Again, a third drive and a fifth shot drive. I am continuing to do that over and over until that player can show that he can do something with that ball. That's 2 points back to back. Again, they're still driving. Good idea. Nice. Great job resetting that chaos and getting back into the kitchen. Oh, that's unfortunate. I would have loved to see 2 hands on that paddle and then crush that at that level that it was at, but it might just be natural at this point. A lot of people don't use 2 hands on the paddle. A good deep return. Good job. Hard to come back when he's got those perfect overheads. He didn't have to move too much, and he was able to slam down on those. He did switch up the locations. Well done. Good drops. So why did he take this out of the air? He took it out of the air to take away time from his opponent. Ball right here. Look at how far he's leaning. I might have liked to see the player with the forehand go ahead and take that, but he is able to go ahead and contact this ball while Adrian is in the midcourt. And good job. You got some errant balls. They just were not able to put those away. Instead of slamming the ball down here, I might have liked to see a sweeping volley. If you don't know what that is, go watch Ben Johns, obviously the best player in the world. Go watch him do some shots that are around shoulder height. He is sweeping that instead of going straight down on the ball. That was a point that they 100% should not have lost. They should have won that point, but just an error. Shot selection matters a lot, and in this case, that was the wrong one. In this case, that was the right one, just the execution wasn't there, but the pickleball IQ is right there. Yeah, that needs to get pummeled. Again, I am continuing to look at these paddle positions. They are low from the players in the far court. I haven't paid too much attention to the pickleball or the paddle positioning in the near court. So let's go ahead and take a look at that at this point. Just a little deep, but I like the shot selection. Look at this. So right there, he is contacting it right below the level of the net. He is doing almost a chariot whip. He is putting a ton of spin on this ball and a lot of pace on it, trying to keep them back. If he can, the ideal spot is to hit this right behind this player, which could have worked. It was close. That was the right shot selection. Good awareness right there to do that. Just a little bit more spin and that stays in, and that's a difficult shot for your opponents to handle. Okay, that drive goes out of bounds, but I am still continuing to drive. Man, good two-handed topspin dink. Just a little far out. Yeah, I have a feeling that the team in the far court is going to go ahead and win this. Their dinking just seems to be more polished, and they are able to handle the drives for the most part. Wow, great poach. Great read on that. Yeah, really good read. He's noticed that this player has gone to him a lot. That completely opens up the court for you. So there you have it. Adrian and his partner were able to go ahead and walk away with game one. Now you see a lot of the times that the paddle positioning was low. Maybe they were just baiting their opponents to go ahead and speed up with them because they felt so confident in their hands and also anticipating where the ball might go. You saw that a couple times. So again, I really want you to pay attention and look at those drops and how their opponents react to that. This is something that you can emulate in your game. There was nothing really special about them. It was just very consistent and smooth, and they were really able to get up to the kitchen. So again, we didn't keep track of how many times Adrian and his partner were able to get up into the kitchen, but I bet it was substantially more than the opposing team. So if you learned something from this video, go ahead and leave a like, go ahead and subscribe, because we will be doing another video like this very shortly.